Hello Libra, Sun, Sagittarius Rising. My name is Tanya and I'm going to be doing a year ahead reading for you today. I'll pull 12 cards, one for each month, plus a card from the bottom of the deck for any additional messages that may come through. Now, with a Sagittarius Rising, you may be someone who is seen, at least, or comes off as someone who maybe likes to travel or likes to have philosophical discussions, or has a strong interest in religion in any form. And that means that your sun is most likely, but not in all cases, in the third house, which is the house of communication and short distance travel or near distance travel, something like that. So I'm from Minnesota. A lot of times this would be like people going up to the cabin on the weekends, or at least once a month. Or it could be a quick trip to Vegas, if you will, if you're in the United States. Or a girls' weekend or a retreat. A small mini vacation instead of like a big long distance travel where you're going to Europe or taking a 2-week vacation. This could mean that you may be interested in things that are off the beaten path or quirky little trips. You also like communication, so you may be somebody who likes to journal a lot, or maybe has a blog about these subjects, or would like to. Or maybe you like to write. And are pursuing that as a hobby or something like that. Or proofreading or editing. For some reason that's coming. Maybe you're an editor or have an interest in that. Correcting everybody's grammar mistakes and things like that. All right, let's see what the cards have for you. I'm going to pull, again, one for each month, 1 through 12. And then a card from the bottom of the deck. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9, 10, 11, 12. And then on the bottom of the deck we have the Lovers. All right. So I'm just going to take a moment to look at the overall spread here. You have moments of introspective or inner work as you're moving throughout this year. But also being able to manifest some things that you've always wanted to do. Or relationships that you've always wanted to have. So there may be shifts in your relationships too, as we're going throughout the year. So let's start with the card from the back of the deck, which is the Lovers. So this is about not just literal lovers, but it's about commitments, contracts. This is also a card that has to do with Taurus. So consider that. I'm also getting the feeling of Gemini, so whichever one works for you. This is going to be a lot about communication when it comes to your commitments, to the people that you commit to, and the contracts that you enter into. So you really want to make sure that both sides are very clear, have a very solid and clear understanding of expectations of what each of you are getting out of this relationship or want in this relationship. Whether that is a business contract, a friendship, or a romantic partner. So that's your big theme for this year, and I do think it's very important for you to make sure you're working on that and nurturing that as you move throughout the year. All right, now let's get into each cup here. Each cup, each card. We're starting off with the Knight of Pentacles. Knights, to me, one way to look at them is someone who has just graduated college and doesn't have any experience yet. So they're very curious and they're willing to experiment and try things out and eager to do that. The Knight of Pentacles is the slowest moving knight in the deck. Pentacles are much slower energy. It's an earth element. So it doesn't move fast. It takes its time. And the Knight of Pentacles in particular will try one thing one way, document that, and then make a change to the plan, and then try that. Make sure it's all done, evaluate it, and then make a change and try the next thing. So it's a lot of trial and error until they perfect it. But once it's perfected, it is chef's kiss. So this is where it may be a very slow month, but take your time. Don't rush things. Make sure you're getting it right. The Hermit is here in month 2. This is a card of introspection. This is taking time to evaluate, to see, are you on the right path? Are you finding your way down a path that you want to be going down? Where is your light leading you? Do you need to change directions? Did you start heading down the wrong path and now you need to adjust? Take the time to make those little adjustments and tweaks to ensure that you draw success and you draw what's meant for you to you. It should feel right, it should feel easy, and it should feel as if your path is well lit. If it's right, it's right. And then we're moving to the Two of Cups. Twos, they're about commitments, decisions, contracts, connections. The Two of Cups in particular, this is about a one-on-one connection with another person. Again, this could be a business contract. This could be a karmic friendship. And this could be a romantic relationship. And with the Lovers here in particular, this is someone you really connect with. That it's yin-yang. The communication is easy and it flows. That connection is solid. And just feels right. So there's that sense. This may be the month that you meet this person, or this may be a month that you are solidifying this connection, this relationship. And then in month 4, we're moving on to the Justice card. This is another major arcana card. And this is about balance, about karma, about righting wrongs. So this could be an outstanding legal matter that is finally settled here in month 4. Or you may have a legal issue come up that needs to and should be settled here in the same month, so that you can move on from it and it's no longer weighing over your head. You don't have that sword of justice swinging and swaying and ready to swing in a way you don't want it to. Make sure that you are sharing all of the facts. Again, with the communication, make sure you are very open and honest and very clear about your take on it, about what you have. Make sure all your documents and everything, all your ducks are in a row. And then you just want to make sure that that is presented. Because if you hold things back, it's not going to turn out in your favor. The judge can only go based on the facts that are before them. They're not going to take into consideration necessarily your feelings on it, or how you think things should be. It's going to be to the letter of the law. So that can be cautionary for some of you, or a positive thing for some of you. Depends on which way the karma is going. And then here in month 5, we have the Two of Wands. Wands are a fire element. It's about passion, creativity, boldness, vivaciousness. You're coming up with a plan. What do you want to do? What do you want to commit to for the next year, for the next couple months, for a vacation, for a hobby? This is about brainstorming. What do I want to do? Where do I want to put my energy next? What's really calling me? How would I get there? What are the possibilities? What are the different ways it could happen? So it's a month to dream about something you really want to do and try to come up with a potential plan of action to make it happen. Even if it's daydreaming and it seems like an impossible dream, you want to work on it and put that possibility out there in the universe to start drawing that energy toward you, that event toward you, that outcome toward you. In month 6, we have the Page of Cups. I don't know if I've already mentioned it. Cups are about our emotions and intuition. The pages, for me, are someone who is very inexperienced. So they're not even in college yet, where the Knights have just graduated college. They are eager to learn. They're excited about the future. They are naive. They're young energy, fresh energy. So it might feel like this breath of fresh air is coming in. There's this newness, this feeling of newness. Also could be rawness. You could be letting your imagination run away with itself too, and conflating things that have nothing to do with each other. So be aware of that. This may be a month where you're just more emotional than you've been in the past. Or this is a new area for you that you're getting emotional about. You moved on in a relationship further than you ever been before, and it can be a little daunting and scary, but you're still curious. You're not necessarily afraid of it, but you're not sure exactly, again, what's going to happen next. You're learning. You're both learning. But again, don't conflate things that just don't belong together. There's this element of needing to trust and continue to go with that flow and learn. Now down here, month 7, we have the 5 of Cups. We're in the Cups again here. And this time, and maybe that's why we have this sense of freshness up here, down here you have a 5. So this is a challenge. Could be a complication. This is something where you may be focused on something that failed or did not work out in the past. Memories or things that happened. You can't undo them. You can't change them. It is what it is. But you keep going back to that place. You keep putting your energy in a place that's empty, that cannot receive it. You need to be released. You need to be able to release that, or you need to find a way to let that go so you can focus on the full cups, on what you do have, on what you have in hand, on what is there for you now, on what is being offered in the present moment, and not put the negativity. Don't bring that forward into the present. You want to leave that in the past so that you can move forward, so you can grow, so you can expand. So just be aware, because this is new and fresh to you, you might be triggered to slip back into an old pattern, an old habit, or put the pain, the anger, the emotions from the past on the current, and you should not do that. Be aware of that, acknowledge that, but focus on the good things that are happening now and what you have now. And then in month 8, we have the Nine of Cups. This is a card, usually it's the gentleman sitting surrounded by his trophies in the background. This is a card of pride, of confidence. Look at that burst of energy coming out, that solar plexus energy. So much confidence, pride in what you do. Ready to show it off, not having a problem expressing your emotions. Nearing the end of the journey, you're almost at the end of a cycle here. So if you can push past this fear, you have this to look forward to. This just complete and utter confidence of where you are in your relationship, in your connections, and where the other people are, and how things are working out for you, which is glorious. And then we're moving to the Four of Pentacles. I don't know if I mentioned it before. Pentacles are an earth element, and they're about material things, tangible things. This could be, and what you do to attain them. So this could be work, this could be your home, this could be transportation, this could be your furniture. It could be remodeling. The Four of Pentacles is about, in a lot of cases, holding on tight to what you have and not being able to loosen up here. It's a sense of lack in a lot of cases. Fours are about stability. So you're on stable ground, but there might be this fear or old fear that's lingering about not having enough, about not being able to do something, about not having an emergency fund. But you have it. You have it. You have the security. So it's a little protective of what you have, and maybe even a sense of fearful of being sharing what you have in some sense. So this could be a point where you're getting to, if this is a romantic relationship, for example, this could be a step or pre-shadow, foretelling of the next step in the relationship. Which you're like, well, no, but these are my resources. This is my bank account. This is my home. This is my stuff. But you're starting to consider moving into shared resources, a shared home. And then there's all that, well, how is that going to work out? How would we arrange things? So it's just coming to terms with that, with the expansion of your world in those areas. And then in month 10, we have the Seven of Swords. Swords are about, it's an air element, and it's about our thoughts, ideas, communication. You're going to have to make sure your communication is very clear here in month 10, that things don't get said that can be misconstrued, and that you don't take something the wrong way. You don't want to feel guilt guilt, or feel like you're taking more out of the relationship, or like the other person is taking more out of the relationship. You want to make sure you're both on the same page and have very clear guidelines or rules about certain things. So you need to be open on that communication. You need to make sure you both have clarity, so it doesn't feel like one side is getting away with something and the other side is losing something. Make sure that communication is strong. And then we have the Ace of Wands and new passion, a new inspiration, a new muse, if you will. Aces are quick. Fire is quick. So this is a hot new idea coming in. A spark of genius coming up. And this is going to be related, it feels very strongly, to creativity. Some new project. It could be related to art. Something where you're creating it. and you are, oh, I'm going to dive into that. I'm going to figure out how it works. The paint, the canvas. I'm going to make a quilt or learn how to make a quilt. I'm going to learn how to write a book. And go down that path of figuring it out. This could even be a creative project at work or a hobby that you're very interested in. Or maybe this is going to be about travel because you're passionate about that travel, about little short trips. You have an idea of what you want to do. Maybe it's a few like little short hops here and there that you want to do. And you want to do together maybe. I think this is the first reading I've had where it is very much about these connections and relationships. A lot of thought here, a lot of ideas and brainstorming how to make things happen on whatever this subject is that has you fired up and is that burning ember inside you, stoking that fire. Here in month 12, we have the Magician. The Magician is the first card in the Major Arcana. This is the first person the Fool meets on their journey. They have the tools, the knowledge, and the connections to make things happen, to create things, to manifest. So you're in this state here in month 12 where it almost seems as soon as you think of it, it happens. Or things that you've thought of or started putting that energy, you started putting out, like here in month, 5? Whatever energy you put out there, whatever thought you had about whatever it was you wanted to do there, it might be put into effect or become a reality here in month 12. You create your life. You drive it. What are you going to come up with next? What do you want the next year to be like? Consider that. Feel it. Immerse yourself in that experience. And draw that energy to you. Again. Make it happen. That's what I have for you, Aquarius Sun, Sagittarius Rising. Thank you so much for watching. Please hit that like button and please hit subscribe and help me grow my channel. And I will talk to you later.